Hello darlings, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope you guys are doing well. I am well, and welcome to my returning darlings. Your love and your support is truly appreciated, and it doesn't go unnoticed. I appreciate you guys, and welcome to the new subscribers. I really hope that you will enjoy your time here. And if you've been watching and have not subscribed, I really hope that you'll consider to subscribe and become a part of this family, the Sterling Nation. This channel is about my lifestyle in my 50s, and then we chat about other things, particularly personal transformation, because it's something that's close to my heart. So I hope you're going to enjoy that. And yeah, on this day, I was making myself some lunch. The sauce that you are seeing is made out of tomatoes from my garden. Boo, 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 boo. I get so excited every time I eat from my garden. That's the whole point, that it must feed me, and it really makes me so happy to eat food that I planted with my own hands. So I usually, when I've picked up quite a few tomatoes, then I batch make a sauce, put it in the freezer, then it makes it easy when I cook on other days. I realized that on this day, I think I was just absent-minded, that I made a mistake. I meant to put the mince first before the sauce, but it still turned out good. So yeah. I just want to share something with you that the Lord has been teaching me. I sometimes find myself dealing with something, and the Lord will just make me stay there for a while, and just to teach me, for me to be able to absorb the teachings, the learnings, so that it becomes something that I can retain and sustain, and something I can live by in my own life. So my lesson in the last couple of maybe months has been about suffering well. And every time, somebody says that, it's easy to just think, Haibo, how can you say that? How can even suffering go together with being well? But it's important to understand that suffering well does not mean you are enjoying suffering or you are enjoying the pain. It does not mean you pretend that it is not hard, but rather it is about perseverance with faith, and whilst you still maintain your good character, but most importantly, by still having your trust in God and trusting that whatever pain that you are dealing with, God will still be able to take you out of that pain. Because it's very easy that when you're going through suffering, it's easy to become bitter, it's easy to become resentful, and we sometimes even see people doing things that are out of character just because of what they are faced with, the pain that they're faced with. Therefore, that's what suffering well is about. And if we think about it, Jesus is the perfect person who modeled what suffering well looks like. We all know that he was hung on the cross, he was mocked, he was wounded, he was chastised for our iniquities. But he did not resist, because he understood that it was his assignment for him to die in order for us to have salvation. So he gave his own life so that we may have life, and have it more abundantly, as the word of God says. So another example also that the Lord has been pointing me to a lot is the story of Job, who lost his children, lost his wealth, lost everything. And at some point, even his own wife had convinced him to dishonor God. But he did not do that. And later on, God was able to restore everything back to him. So those are some of the things and some of the ways the Lord has been teaching me about suffering well. Obviously pertaining to my own life, my own pain points in my life, things that I would love for them to be different, to change, but they are not changed as yet. I do believe that they will change, but it's a journey that I find myself in. And all of us have things that we are dealing with that we sometimes are not willing to openly speak about, which is okay. You know, you don't have to tell the whole world about what you are dealing with. But all of us have those pain points at some point in our lives. But it is important that we suffer well. We don't lose character. We don't do things that we will regret at a later point just because we cannot endure the pain and the suffering. And when we want to deal with these things in our own capacity, that is when we will find ourselves getting involved in things that we have no business getting involved in trying to resolve these things because we want to deal with them in our own capacity and we can't. But if we make the Lord the center of it all, then we can rely on Him, and God is able to give you sanity in the midst of chaos. You know, the Word of God says He is able to give us peace that surpasses all understanding. People who look at you and know what you're dealing with and what you're confronted with, but they look at you and you are all put together and you're still carrying on with your life, they become surprised. Would like, how do you do it? And it is only if we rely fully on God that we will be able to still be functional, still be okay, even if there are things in our lives that are a sore point, you know. So more than anything, that's been the teaching, to say, suffer well, focus on God, be rooted in Him, and don't depend on your own capability. The Word of God also says, lean on the Lord, not lean on your own understanding. So our leaning should be on God and not on our capacity, because we will surely fail. Hi, darlings. Lunch is served. I'm so hungry. I started intermittent fasting. Well, not recently. I've been fasting intermittently. Maybe for what? I don't know. For a month? Could be longer. So I eat after 12. Days are not the same. Some days, even after 12, I would not feel hungry. And sometimes I forget and I remember maybe, I don't know, 1, 2, or even later sometimes. But today, today I was feeling very hungry because I had a very big lunch yesterday, but I had very little dinner. Like I only had crackers and cheese and stuff. So, and I felt like I don't want to eat bread or whatever. I just wanted a nice cooked meal. So yeah, this is it. Mince, baked potato, and caramelized carrots. That's my lunch. And I'm also busy cleaning. I washed my couch. Well, I don't know if you can see it. I washed my couch, so it's a little bit wet still. But yeah, I'm gonna eat now, and I'll catch up with you guys later. Mwah. Good morning, darlings. I hope you guys are good. I didn't speak to you guys when I left home. I'm at the shops. Just wanted to grab a few essentials for home. And yeah, so let's go do that. And I think from here, I'm going to pass by Checkers as well. Yeah, let's go. Hey, darlings. I'm back home. I was able to grab a few things that I needed. Um, guys, I don't know if I told you. I think I did tell you about the place that I've discovered not too far from my place. that is actually quite reasonable. I was actually very curious as to why their things are as reasonable as they are. For example, these eggs, it's 30 eggs. They are 59.99 if I'm not mistaken. So they are 60 rands. And at our regular retail stores, eggs what, 80 rands or more. Yeah, so it's the second time I'm buying these ones. What I noticed though is that they are inconsistent in terms of size. So you have large ones and slightly smaller ones. But I mean, it's neither here nor there. I also discovered this brand. For example, this is a dishwashing liquid. It's 20 rands. This bubble bath is what, 50 rands, 49.99 if I'm not mistaken. And this thing, I think it's about 80 something rands at discount. So they have very reduced, like I bought spices for 10 rands. These are Quali Fresh. It's a Quali Fresh brand spice. 10 rands for each. I really find that their prices are very reasonable. And because I was curious as to why. So when I checked, I realized that they came up with this business model, obviously trying to find alternatives for South Africans, to find things maybe at a slightly reduced price. But what they do is whoever developed this business is somebody who was exposed to how distributors and manufacturers work. I suppose probably somebody who worked in that space before and saw a gap. Apparently, regular retailers, they don't want to buy products that have that are close to expiry date. Like maybe if they have 6 months to expire, sometimes 6 months or less to expire, sometimes the retailers reject. They don't want to buy those products. And if the manufacturers have overproduced and the distributors are sitting with goods that are close to expiry, then those things would go to waste. That's why I'm saying this person is probably somebody who worked in that space and saw that gap. So what these people at Best Before do, they buy those surplus products that are closest to expiry time, and then they sell them at much cheaper prices, because they also buy them from either the manufacturer or from the distributors. It's also a very reduced price. I really find that their prices are very low. They don't have everything that we need, and sometimes their things run out. Like today I wanted to go buy eggs. I wanted to buy the cleaning stuff. I bought the dishwasher, the thick bleach, and the pine gel. Mina, when it comes to cleaning stuff, I'm not married to the brand. I'll buy what is good for my pocket, but there are then specific things where I struggle, that I want that particular thing. So for those, I'll go buy either Checkers or any other retail stores. But I really find their price. Like I bought these 7-Ups. There's 12 of them. They are 60 rands. So it's things like this that I find to be quite reasonable. So if you have a Best Before closest to you, just check them out and see if you can save a little bit. Whatever we can do to save a little bit of money, I think it's something that one should consider to do, because things are really getting expensive. And if you can find somewhere where you can save a little bit, hey, why not? Well, that's how I think. So yeah, I just grabbed a few things from them. And I was just saying, Guti, hopefully you might find one closest to you and check them out and see if you can save any money. I don't think they are in a lot of areas. I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. I also wanted to buy, the last time I bought rice cakes that tasted so nice. Usually rice cakes are bland, but those ones had, I think they were a herb and something flavor, and I could not find them. They ran out. Their things do run out quite quickly because they are cheap. So yeah, that's what I did. I'm gonna pack these things away, and then I think I'll catch up with you guys maybe tomorrow. Yeah. All right then. Bye. These things are supposed to be the same size, 500 grams for both. But I've just filled the jar and it's full now, but there's still something left in here. So I'm wondering, Uguti, could it be that this is an incorrect size, labeled as 500 grams, but it's actually smaller? It's potentially a 450. And yeah, or this one is bigger. I don't know. I'm just curious. My mind works like that sometimes because I think some of the products are reduced. You know, they are labeled a particular size. Maybe this is what 500 should be, but this one is labeled 500, but it's probably a 450. And how many other products do we get that are not the size that it says it is on the jar? Just me being inquisitive and my mind just, doing what it does sometimes. I enjoy slow mornings, as you've come to know probably if you've been here for some time. But other mornings are extremely, extremely slow, like this morning. These are times where I would take time out of my morning, a longer period where I just sit and I read and I just feed my mind. This is where I sit as well to read the Word of God and to pray and to spend time with God and yeah, and just to enjoy my solitude. People tend to think that when you are by yourself, you get bored. Mina, that word does not even feature in my vocabulary. I do enjoy time with my people, but I also love my time by myself. So that's what I did this morning. Then I decided to go outside just to get a little bit of some fresh air and to check on my garden. My garden is coming along nicely. This is the lettuce. These are the carrots growing so well. This is basil and parsley. I think parsley is very slow. These cabbages, I almost pulled them out. I planted them the last time and they were not growing at all. But all of a sudden, they started producing cabbages. So I'm happy. Beetroot is taking its own time. This is the basil. These are the new cabbages. This is the kale. And I've been eating quite a bit of tomatoes as well. So I'm happy about that. Then the spinach is suffering. I think the sun is too harsh. So yeah, it's not doing well at all. So I just checked out what's happening, what's growing, what's not, what's new that has come up. I'm happy I planted this garden. It does frustrate a little bit because of the varying progress, but I'm happy nonetheless. Hello darlings, happy Sunday. I just wanted to quickly show you my outfit. I'm going out to lunch. We have no electricity, so I could not cook. And yeah, I decided on an all cream outfit. I love it. These pants are actually quite light, so I had to line them with tights underneath. And I'm not really a fan of these pockets showing like this, but hey, it is what it is. I've got cream shoes as well. I'm going to carry this bag, which I've been using quite a lot. I'm enjoying it. And then I'll carry the scarf just in case the weather decides to change. It's a beautiful day outside. I really like the scarf. It's a bit cream this side and it's purplish this side, so I can just throw it over my shoulders should the weather change. But yeah, this is my outfit. I'll catch you guys later. Bye. I had been seeing this establishment for a while now every time I drive past the area, and I decided to go there on Sunday, sit outside just to take in the views. It is a nice place. I just did not get a chance to show you guys what it looks like inside, and I liked what was on the menu because that's what I felt like having, you know, your Sunday ghost type of food. And when they brought the food, it tasted so good. It really, really did. I had a lamb curry and dumpling. It really was very nice. I enjoyed my food. Sat there for a while. It was not packed, so I could, you know, sit nicely and enjoy my time. And I did not have to rush back home because, like I said, there was no electricity. And they didn't mind that I stayed way longer after I had finished eating. So, yeah. But then at some point I had to go home. Got home, took a nap, maybe for like half an hour and a half. When I woke up from the nap, my goodness, I had such excruciating stomach pain. I did not understand what was going on. I started throwing up, and it was just a mess, you know. And all I could think of was that it was probably food poisoning. But their food honestly did not taste off in any way. It actually tasted very good. I really enjoyed the food. So I don't know, but I think it just did not agree with my stomach, my system, and my body could not retain it. It just needed to flush it out. So I had a miserable Sunday evening. At some point, I was even considering calling an ambulance because it was just so unpleasant. But about an hour or so into thinking of doing that, I started feeling some relief. So I thought it's fine. Let me just see how it goes and monitor myself. I did not really sleep on Sunday. Probably got a little bit of sleep on Monday morning, maybe 2-3 hours. And then I just had to monitor myself the whole of Monday. But thankfully, by the end of the day on Monday, I was feeling fine. So I thank God for that. But yeah, it was just unfortunate. And I had just thought it's a place I'll probably visit again. But will I go back again? I don't know. I don't think so. But yeah, these things happen. I'm just grateful that I feel fine now. But anyway, darlings, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your support, and I will catch you guys up in the next vlog.